Thor Ragnarok is the newest movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the long-awaited third installment in the Thor series. Brought to us by New Zealand director Taika Waititi, Ragnarok wastes no time distancing itself from the sword and sorcery roots that distinguished the first two movies, instead deciding to take this newest adventure right into space in the kind of Marvel cosmology that was set up in the first two Guardians of the Galaxy movies. As we rejoin, Thor Odinson, once again played by Chris Hemsworth, is on a quest to find out more about those Infinity Stones that have been tying together all the Avengers movies, only he gets a little sidetracked by the coming of Ragnarok, the Norse end of the world for those of you who don't speak Viking. Yes, apocalyptic stakes are definitely the new normal for this Thor movie, and I was genuinely surprised how far they were willing to go to show people that no one was safe. This doomsday prophecy also brings our hero into conflict with his brother, Loki, played once again by Tom Hiddleston, who, if you've been paying attention to all of these connected films, has been masquerading as Odin, King of Asgard, this whole time. The brothers' relationship has always been one of the very best things about the Marvel Universe. Ragnarok gets this, but is also smart enough to grow their relationship and not just do the same old motions like Thor the Dark World did. Opposing Thor and Loki is Cate Blanchett's Hela, the goddess of death, who may or may not have a deeper connection to the history of Asgard and Odin. Usually Marvel movie villains are just a roadblock for the heroes to overcome, but Hela breaks the mold in several very interesting ways. One, she's actually allowed to be both funny and threatening at the same time, something that no one else has really managed to do. Two, while she does eventually have plans to take over the world, her underlining goals of wanting to be noticed are pretty relatable, somewhat sympathetic, and fit into the bigger theme of the movie. Then there's three, she's just an absolute powerhouse who deals with Thor so early on in the movie, she's kinda left free to have her own one-woman show off to the side while the rest of the movie is happening. Power is another big thing this movie gets right. Thor is a god, and yet whenever he seems to team up with the Avengers, a lot of fans feel that he's never allowed to really cut loose or use his full potential. But when he gets stranded on the planet of Sakaar, yes, that Sakaar from the Planet Hulk comics, without his trademark hammer, he's forced to use all of his other skills to stay alive, and in a way, sort of rebuild himself from the ground up, while also fighting in the Contest of Champions. Yes, that Contest of Champions from the comics, watched over by Jeff Goldblum's wonderfully weird tyrant, the Grand Master. Sakaar is absolutely beautiful, by the way, a kind of rundown pastel wonderland that would make Jack Kirby proud, where there always seems to be a synthesizer playing somewhere. Thor isn't alone on this journey, as all the trailers have shown. He's joined by the Hulk, and I do mean the Hulk. Mark Ruffalo is able to play a side of the character that we've never really been able to see before. For one, he can talk, and two, he's not even sure if he wants to give up the sweet, cushy gladiator life and return to Earth, a place that hates and fears him just for being himself. This is probably as close to the Peter David era of Hulk on the big screen as we've ever gotten, and it feels pretty good. But for me, the biggest surprise might actually be Valkyrie, played by Tessa Thompson. She's a rogue Asgardian working through a bunch of guilt issues, and she proves to be a really fun foil to both Thor and Loki, who seem to be taking things a lot less seriously this time around. Heck, she even gets the big suit-up montage moment that's normally reserved for the headliners. It totally feels like the filmmakers have plans for this character that go way beyond just being in the Thor movies. Now, in the lead-up to the movie, a lot has already been made about just how funny it is, and indeed, Thor Ragnarok has a lot of very well-deserved laughs in it. Taika Waititi is such a unique and quirky comedic talent you might have already known if you've seen his other work like Things We Do in the Dark, which is only bolstered by a script from Marvel regular collaborator Eric Pearson. I would just say don't go in expecting another Guardians of the Galaxy, because the style of jokes is completely different, as well as the execution. It's all very different. We got more running gags, more wordplay, and a lot more awkward silences, that sort of thing. Another big complaint that usually gets thrown the Marvel movies' way is outside the Avengers and Captain America, none of the other movies really change the overall playing field that much. I can happily report that this is not the case with Ragnarok. In fact, they end up doing several things that change the status quo for Thor and his supporting cast in huge Winter Soldier-ish level ways. Also, this many movies in, they're definitely doing a better job of showing that this might be one movie, but it's part of a much bigger universe, and because of that, anyone can stop by at any moment for any amount of time. If you couldn't tell, this was another good movie from Marvel, and one that I shockingly enjoyed. It's definitely the best of the Thor movies, hands down, features some of the best action scenes scenes they've done to date. I would say it's definitely not the movie for the more self-serious amongst you, but for those who want action, comedy, and superhero adventure all in equal measures, while also bringing the story of Thor as a trilogy full circle, then I'm sure you're going to have a very good time at the movies. I know I did. So that's my review, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, why not check out some of the other videos I have available from the channel. Then you can follow me on social media at CapeJoel, so you're always up to date on what videos I got coming out next. And hey, if you like my content and are feeling in a supportive mood, why not head on down to the description and become a patron. Patrons get exclusive access to videos and content before anyone else, and you can do so for as little as $1 a month. It would be very much appreciated. So until next time, everyone, this has been CapeJoel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all again later. Bye-bye.